Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Thanks for joining me. Yesterday we set out on a course, and the course was to free ourselves from addiction, whether it's freedom from enslavement, which is the root word for addiction in Latin, addictus equals slave, whether it's freedom from enslavement for the formerly addicted individual or freedom from enslavement for the loved one of anyone who was formerly addicted. What did you discover in completing our invitation yesterday to reflect some more on either one of these pathways in our lives? You know, we've certainly established, I think, over the course of our most recent series of posts here, just how slippery a slope it is to descend into and get stuck in blaming and shaming attitudes towards anybody who's in recovery from addictive behaviors. It happens all the time. I think it's very understandable, and it's all very, very unhelpful. What I want to do next is to take us all on an even deeper dive into the dynamics of personal shame. Along the way, we'll also be incorporating our understanding of the impact of societal stigma. Personal shame, society's stigma. And we'll be looking at the impact of these on the individual in recovery from addiction. Notice that I did not say the one in active addiction. Don't get me wrong, I don't for a second believe that shaming the actively addicted individual is any more helpful than blaming or shaming the individual who's in active recovery. I just want to focus on the latter for the next bit of time. You know, it's interesting. Some of the same problems that go hand in hand with our personal attitudes towards ourselves in recovery are just simply extensions of the attitudes we've had about ourselves, or maybe it's a loved one in active addiction. So as in active addiction, so in recovery. In fact, I think it's these same attitudes of negative judgment, assigning blame, etc. These same attitudes which very likely have preceded addiction for those most vulnerable to it in the first place. In other words, the blame and shame that we're rooting out right now is at the very core of what leads many people to addictive behaviors. Once in addiction, there's more shame. And then when they get into early recovery, there's even further shame and self-blame. So we're going to be coming back to all of this over the next several posts. For today, I'd like to ask you to do this. Can you think of a time in your own life where your own view of yourself, particularly in terms of self-criticism or negative judgment, where it may have itself contributed powerfully to hard to control problematic behavior patterns, which is one way that we're talking about addiction, hard to control problematic behavior patterns. Can you think of a time where self-judgment, negative views of yourself, self-criticism, where these may have led to these behaviors owing to our wish to self-soothe, owing to our wish to anesthetize these incredibly painful and uncomfortable feelings? Thanks for spending part of your day with me here today at the Vitality Project. I hope that you'll enjoy this exercise. I look forward to you joining me again. In the meantime, please stay safe and be well. I look forward to seeing you here again with me tomorrow. Take care.